Yeah, it's been interesting just thinking about like differences in people. And I think that's part of the Christian journey, right? Is that we're called to like love other people and to be in relationship with other people. And one talk that I heard a long time ago, probably 10 years ago at this point, was the difference between preferential friendships and intentional friendships. And the trap we can fall into to always defer to our preferential friendship, but to really like intentionally go into situations, gatherings, mass, and like intentionally think, Lord, who do you want me to connect with? Or this is someone that's in my life. How can I, it's not an easy relationship. I wouldn't prefer it, but I need to be intentional in loving this person. And I've been praying so much lately about, I just want the mind of Christ. Like, I just want the mind of Christ. So like, Lord, put your mind on my mind. And similar to what you just said, like, show me how you love them so I can love them and cherish that same thing in them that you do.
Yeah.
You know?
I think about that, you know, I'm married and I've been married for 9 years now. So I'm like, and my husband and I grew up together. Like, we were teens and got married. But like, there's times where like, well, first, when we first got married, I've never lived with a man. So I'm like, oh my gosh, you're a completely different creature than I am.
Totally.
And like, I'm starting to nitpick all these little things, right? And I now 9 years in, like, I know we're not going anywhere. So it's like, when I start to get upset, instead of me like needing to like list out everything that bothers me about his differences and mine, I'm like, Lord, how does he need to be loved by me?
Wow.
And today we both left our house at the same time. And so we were on the freeway. His commute's way shorter than mine. So I got to see him like drive off of the freeway, and he just looked at me and like waved at me.
Sweet.
I want to cry thinking about this.
Yeah.
And then just like got off on his exit. And I was like, Lord, like, we don't ever get to like see each other like leave for our day. But I was able to like stop and pray and just say like, Lord, like, whatever he needs from you today, like, just give that to him. Like, inspire him, encourage him, uplift him. Like, I was asking his guardian angels to be with him, and I'm like, what a gift that I got to like have that glimpse of him, to be reminded that we are so different. We have like a common goal, right? Our vocation, getting each other to heaven. And we have our own interests and things like that. But like, to be able to see him just as like God's son, and to just ask, you know, for prayer for him, it was a really sweet moment that I'm like, instead of thinking about, oh, well, you took out the trash too late or whatever, you know, I was able to, it was a gift that the Lord gave me to just like stop and just see him as his son that needed my prayers.
I
you know?
love that.
Yeah, it was really sweet.
That's so good. I recently went to counseling for the first time, like a couple months ago now. And throughout much of my marriage, I've thought that I'm amazing. And genuinely, like, I'm pretty great.
Can confirm.
But, like, in that thinking, it's just been pride. Like Steph said, I will, like, list out in my head all of the things that my husband is doing wrong. And it was just so interesting to go to counseling and to like share things and kind of expect like, yeah, Jenna, you're doing great, you know? And to hear that's actually really unhealthy, X, Y, or Z. And this thing that Mike does that kind of triggers you is positive in X, Y, and Z sense. I know I'm not getting into particulars, so I'm sorry, but it was just so cool to have a third party look at us. And I think this can apply to a lot of relationships. Like, can a trusted person look at this relationship, this situation, obviously not in like the sense of gossip or like speaking down about people, but to just honestly say like, hey, this is something I struggle with. Can you help me see it in a different lens? And so for this counselor to say, hey, Mike does this thing. Yes, you find it frustrating, but this is actually how it's good. And this is how it can be used for good. And it was just so cool to me for someone to speak into my life and to see the positive in this person. Again, this doesn't just apply to marriage, but to see the positive in this person when all I could see, the narrative I was saying was all of the negatives.
Yeah.
And I think it's especially vital in marriage that we get off of the hamster wheel of constantly seeing the bad in our spouse, constantly seeing the negative. Granted, I understand when that's hard to do, when it's like, well, every situation does suck or every situation is negative. I was just talking to Beth last week, and she had shared this really beautiful thing that I never thought to do, and I just really love it, and I'm trying to do it. She said she was talking to a married woman who said that every time she saw her husband, or every time her husband walked in the room, she would smile. And I was like very struck by that. Like, when I walk into the room, there's things to do. There's kids to take care of. There's chores. There's things I have to relay, like communicate. But like to walk into the room and for my face to be lit up when I see Mike, like literally makes me want to cry. Like, or if he walked into the room and I like genuinely smiled and like was happy to see him, even if all else feels like a mess, to just honor the goodness of him. Like, he is the son of my Father, and like I want to honor that in him and like be lit up by seeing him. And so anyway, why did I talk about that? I don't know, but
That's so sweet.
yeah.
Jenna, I wanted to say, while you were talking about that, and you were talking about like having like a third party, you've done this for me. There's times where like I'm just not vibing with someone, and I told her, okay, can you tell me honestly if it's me, if I'm doing something wrong? And I'll like give her the situation, and I'm like really ready to hear it. And Jenna's just so good, and she's like, well, I can see, she's very nice. And I'm like, I just want you to like tell me what I did wrong very bluntly, but no, like it's very charitable. But like it's good to have that like with someone where you can say, is it really me? Like, is this not working because I'm failing to see something? So I totally agree. Having someone you can talk to.
Yeah. And I think what you said is huge too, Steph, about having a common goal. So if we're talking about this in the small group setting, right? Like, even if this woman is really getting on my nerves, or I'm like, don't understand her, I don't understand where she's coming from, like, we just don't vibe. Do we have a common goal? Is our common goal Jesus? And is there a foundational thing that we can have in common to talk about and to really think about him, because it is reality that like we're not going to get along with everyone. But if we are intentional about saying, I'm in this group for this reason, or I have this friendship for this reason, and the Lord has brought us into each other's lives, obviously like with health in mind, not like a dangerous situation or anything like that, but like, where can I be intentional to find common ground and to say, like, do we have a common goal of Jesus? Like, let's start there. Let's go there.
Thanks for watching our clip from the weekly visit.
To watch the full conversation, head over to the member community linked down below.
We love visiting with you, so we'll see you there.